Militaries like to keep their operations secret for as long as possible, but when they strike, you can put together a map and truly see the objective. And here's the map of last night's strikes on Iran. What do you think the American military is going after here? The Iranian coastline with the Persian Gulf. This is where all of the blasts were. They also attacked some petrochemical stations and power plants and water facilities inside of Iran. But the vast majority of strikes have to do with Iran's oil infrastructure and their capacity to project power through the Strait of Hormuz, which is right here and along their coastline. That's because President Trump says, we are taking over the Iranian coast. Iran will have no capacity to operate functionally inside of the Persian Gulf. Screw them, Donald Trump announcing. The United States of America has now changed the Strait of Hormuz to the Strait of America. The Strait of Hormuz is open. It'll remain open with or without Iran. We're reinstating the Iranian blockade, so named because it's stopping Iran's ships and customers from entering or leaving. All other countries will have fair and open use of the strait. The USA will be, from this point forward, known as the guardian of the Strait of Hormuz. Such as, and matters of fairness, it will be reimbursed at a rate of 20% for cargo ships or any or all costs necessary to doing the job of providing security for this very volatile region of the world, says President Trump. Trump says, we will be the guardian angel of the Strait of Hormuz passage. We are taking over. Donald Trump says now we are going to get paid to protect.
A deal. What nobody knows, we had a deal. It was a done deal. And then they broke it. They always break it. We've had 10 deals with these people. And so we're just going to hit them very hard. And we're going to keep the strait, and we'll probably run it. We'll become the guardian of the strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the strait. And we should be reimbursed for that. When we do that, we're going to be reimbursed because the other nations are very wealthy. They're on our side. And we can't be expected to do that for nothing, unlike we had for many years. You know, we guarded the strait for 50 years more, and we never got paid for it. They made all the money, and the United States was just, they wouldn't. It's amazing. It's we never make.
So Donald Trump saying we are now going to get paid for guarding the Strait of Hormuz. The White House is up today with a lot of Iran posts saying, you're done. We're reinstating the Iranian blockade, and it's over. You effed around and you found out with the guy who wrote The Art of the Deal. You broke your deal with Donald Trump. So effective immediately, Iran is fuming. President Trump says America has taken over the Strait of Hormuz. Will be its guardian angel, says Donald Trump. Okay, this is a massive news across the world. We're known as the guardian of the Strait of Hormuz, saying it'll provide security for the waterway while allowing all countries except Iran and its customers to continue using the strait. It was always going to go this way. What do you think was going to happen? The U.S. is taking over the Strait of Hormuz. Now, this is, of course, what it looks like geographically. It gets really tight and narrow up here. So Iran has been waiting for American warships to go and traverse this part of the world because they have a lot of hidden missiles and capacity to fire from this mountainous region right here. The top here is Iran. And this island right here was hit incredibly hard over the weekend. And as the guardians of the Strait of Hormuz, America has been launching an insane number of attacks pretty much on a daily basis throughout the waterway to completely destroy Iran's capacity to project power. But something remarkable happened just moments ago where we changed the game once again using unmanned drone ships. So these are ships that travel above water. We also have underwater drones, and they carry payloads, and they have been used for the first time. This arsenal has been deployed against Iran. And it happened to great effect. You can see here underwater. These are the drones that patrol around the Pentagon. These are the waters in the Potomac River right outside of the Pentagon. You can see these drones in action. They're very fast. They're very deadly. To be exactly collaborative swarms, modular payloads. They can carry 1,000-pound payload. And what does that look like when the 1,000-pound payload hits? Well, it looks like this, ladies and gentlemen. Just released footage of the first time ever with the United States using one-way attack drones on the surface of the water to blow up a Iranian submarine station in a place called Bandar Abbas. You can actually see right here in the footage the submarine sitting on its, see that? See the submarine? So this is how they go and harass the ships, and they use these submarines to go float over and blow up the ships. And so this is how Donald Trump's going to do it. You know, all of the entire ecosystem, the mathematics of war, the equations change entirely, dramatically, when you're not spending the lives of men, when you have no caskets to bring home, when you are able to accomplish your military objectives without ever losing an American life. You're blowing up robots, but you're devastating these countries, and there's not a single American life that's being put in jeopardy. In the air, at sea, and on the battlefield. We've been able to see in Ukraine. Zelensky just announced they've been able to take back like 100 square miles of territory using just unmanned vehicles from the Russians. 90% of the casualties in Ukraine are now unmanned vehicles. So this is how President Trump is planning on doing this. President Trump is pissed at Iran. There were some very credible reports that Iran tried to kill Donald Trump when he was in Turkey last week. Turkey is a border state to Iran. Donald Trump actually had to get on and use a separate aircraft entirely and fly with a disabled public transponder to successfully cloak his flight as he left high-risk airspace. You can see some of the footage here of Donald Trump, Winkle Blue Air Force One, with the brand new Air Force One that was under threat and under attack off in the distance. So Donald Trump, not happy about this, not pleased about what's going on here. Here is that's the old Air Force One that he's using. Here's the new Air Force One. And they effectively decommissioned it until they can get it secured. And so President Trump is now projecting force throughout Iran, killing their leadership. This is the death of one of the IRGC commanders and a huge underground bunker that was blown up last night. So Trump is not messing around any longer. Like, playtime's over. It's done. There was a massive strike on Iran's capacity to produce oil, to plan attacks. This is the IRGC headquarters attack. To project power. They attacked multiple power plants last night. One nuclear reactor plant right here. This is not a coastal strike. This is the Arak reactor, Iran's 40 megawatt heavy water nuclear facility. They struck this, and they've been killing. Hard blow for the Iranian regime. Head of Special Operations Communications Unit in the Iranian province died after the impact of U.S. missiles on a strategic airfield. And where were those missiles fired from? Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. So now the Gulf nations are all joining in order to say, screw you. You're messing this. You're screwing this all up for the rest of us. Enough. And they're allowing American missile platforms to launch from their nations to strike. It's amazing what is happening right now. The world is changing, and it's changing quickly. It's exciting. Stay tuned. Jump in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all of this. The Strait of America has an ice ring to it. It's your boy Benny.